Oh my god.
Can people hear me?
People hear me?
Can people fucking hear me? Am I being able to be heard by all? I sure as fuck hope so. Oh God. All right. Testing speech. Testing speech. Okay. We're good. We're good. We should be live on YouTube as well. I don't know if the YouTube, if I'm gonna be able to see the YouTube chat, I gotta figure that out first. It says multi-chat. It says that I should be able to see it, but I just tested it and it didn't work. But anyway, we are going to figure out how to write a fucking best man speech. So we're gonna watch a bunch of these, okay? Because I don't know how to write a best man speech, and the only way to do it is to watch a bunch of other people do it and do it better. Okay? Here we go. Best man speech done. It's done right. Oh God, how do they know? How do they know I haven't filed in fucking 2 years? Oh, God, she's fucked. All right, Pat. All right, Patrick, let's see what you got, pal. Oh, he didn't even... He memorized it. Oh. Good. Bait and switch. Great. That's great. Okay, you did not memorize it. That's a lot better. No way I could memorize mine. This is a good bit. Cocaine joke. I don't know if that one, I don't know if I could do that one. We might be able to sneak a little fentanyl joke in there. Oh, people can't hear this. That's gonna be...
I'll get serious here. Daniel and I go way back, known each other since middle school, and I can honestly thank him for helping me get through it. As he mentioned last night, I was not the best student, and by helped, I do mean that he would share his homework assignments with me before class, and that he always made sure I had a clear view to the answers on his tests. What are friends for, right? We became even closer in high school, where we literally did everything together. We used to wear matching outfits to school. I would come over for lunch every single day, so I want to give a shout out to Donald and Diana.
Shout out to parents. That's probably a good idea. I should probably shout out the parents. Maybe I should be writing some of this stuff.
We get in trouble together, of course. It was usually my fault, and we even would choreograph and record dance videos together. We share quite a bromance, and I'm pretty proud of it. We actually still have a secret handshake that we do together to this day.
Do it! Do it! Do it!
We'll We'll find us later. We'll show you. We did go to college in different states, but we always stayed close. And I remember getting many calls about Amber.
Damn, dude, that's hacky. I'm gonna fumble her name. Is that hacky? Is fumbling her name hacky?
I remember getting many calls about Angela when we first started dating. And he really
Damn, dude, I don't want to be hacky. Is that hacky? Let's see how many people do it.
Asking for advice and date night ideas.
Just the only guy who does it, then I'm
Angela,
cool with
For
that.
all the fun and romantic dates you enjoyed early on in your relationship, I'd just like to say you're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll never forget how we met. Angela actually messaged me on Facebook to arrange a surprise visit for Daniel's birthday to come out to Minneapolis, and she met me when I arrived, helped me sneak into his apartment, and the look of just utter confusion on his face was priceless. Angela's effort to make Daniel happy did leave a very lasting impression on me, and I've always approved. Daniel, you're a very lucky man, because I do think she's a little out of your league. Angela, you're smart, you're funny, you're driven, you're beautiful, you have a big heart.
Oh, dude, am I going to compliment the bride? Do you have to compliment the bride when you do
I
weddings?
couldn't be happier that you're marrying my best friend.
Dude, I don't want to compliment the bride. I don't know the bride.
I love you both, and I hope you have a happily ever after.
I love you, bro. Dude, Tommy will not, there's not a shot Tom will hug me after this speech. There's not a shot. And if he does, guy's a fraud. Guy's a fucking fraud. Funniest best man speech. 12 minutes. That guy was in and out of there. 5 minutes, 50 seconds. Dude,
I have to be right here. I felt boxed in a little bit. You know what I mean?
12 minutes? I'm definitely got the walk around too.
Well, hey, we're having a good time. First of all, we're having a good time. I'm not going to ask. Well, I'm just going to tell you guys we're having a good time.
I like that. I like this guy's presence.
So I'm Alec. I'm Mike's older brother.
First off, I will not be introducing myself. Okay? We need to start off with a funny joke right away. Okay? So maybe I say, because Tom does, my best friend does have a brother. So maybe we make a joke about me being the best man and not his brother, his only brother. Maybe we make a joke about that. I don't know. I'm like blanking now that I'm like on the spot. But I could say, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? You guys feeling good tonight? And then everybody be like, woo! And then I could be like, all right, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let's give a round of applause to somebody, okay? Because you got to start off. You got to build the people up, okay? Let's get a round of applause for maybe. Do I go first? Did the best man go first? Maybe not. So if I didn't go first, and let's say the maid of honor went first, or the father of the bride went first, then maybe we go. Let's give it up for the father of the bride. Guys, really cool guy. He really nailed it. Maybe something like that. And then that really gets the people going. And then maybe after that, we do, we go into, for those of you who don't know me, good. I don't want to know you. Please don't bother me after this speech. I'm Tommy's brother. We've known each other since, I've known him since he was born. I remember looking at his little baby body as it, was shredding my mother's uterine wall. It was, I remember picking him up. He was fucking slimy. He was nasty. It was wild to see. Maybe we start that, and some people will get the joke, and some people might not get the joke. I'm such a fan of bombing for a lot of people, but there's a handful of people. So if the room is filled with 200 people, I want to crush in front of 30 of them. And then the rest, I think I've always been a fan of thinking it's very funny to me if 30 people think it's really funny, and then the rest, the other 170 are like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Does he even know Tommy? I want people to think that I don't know. I just stumbled into this wedding and just making up a best man speech as I go. I want to make up facts. Because as I'm thinking about telling stories about me and my best friend's relationship, there's nothing I can really pinpoint that's oh, that's hilarious. It's just a bunch of memories to me that I look back on and remember laughing really hard. But it's only because we have a joke system that is very, very funny. And most of the things we laugh about aren't wedding appropriate. So that's what I need to figure out is how to whatever. We'll just go back into this. We're just kind of
That's right. No matter what the tape measure says, I am that older brother. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank my mom and Gary, Meg's family, for making this night possible. It's been a special night. For Meg's family for traveling here. A lot of you guys were at my wedding. My
cameraman, what the
Maddie's
fuck
wedding,
are you doing, bro?
where Mike gave a comedy act of a speech. And as the shorter brother, I thought I'd take the higher road. But I just thought about it. So here we go. Buckle up. When we were younger, there were several times where we had thought we lost Mike. Growing up, our neighborhood gang engineered a bike ramp. No one was brave enough to attempt it. Mike, with his infinite courage, pedaled hot towards the ramp. He got halfway up when logic kicked in and he realized he made a bad decision. With stitches in his future, he toppled over the edge, face first. In that moment, I thought I'd only have a sister. Another normal day in the neighborhood gang decided to go doorbell ditching. A guy we called Fisherman because of his koi pond out front. He had a scary reputation of being mean and unpleasant, so this was our mission. This would earn us some street cred. We doorbell ditched him not once, not twice, but 3 times. And on that 3rd time, he came out guns blazing, and with jungle cat reflexes, I took off with sprinter speed. Yeah, behind me I hear, oh my God, I'll never do it again. And then there was silence. I came to the conclusion we had lost him. A while later, the two came walking around the corner. Fisherman had Mike by the arm, and he looked pissed. Mike looked deflated because I can only imagine how it felt that a 50-year-old man with tight hamstrings caught him in a foot chase. All right.
Yeah, dude. No parent ever. This is a side note, but no parent would ever have caught me in my prime. Ding dong ditching? Dude. Fuck no. I'd dust any parent out there.
On his 17th birthday, we got him a fake ID. It's not going in that direction, guys. We got him the ID to attempt this Tough Mudder course, which consisted of a 10-mile terrain run with obstacles in between. One of these obstacles consisted of an electric hot wire that delivered 10,000 volts on contact. The obstacle was literally named electric shock therapy. Yeah. We muscled our way through, getting zapped. It was Mike's turn. With all of his might and legs churning, he hustled through. Suddenly, he was zapped on the calf. Down goes Mike. The GoPro falls off.
This is good. This is a good dude. So many times people go and they tell stories that nobody can like relate to and nobody gives a fuck about. But this is like easy to follow. There's like funny parts about it. Now, granted, these aren't the funniest stories, but like it's like for weddings, people will laugh because they're old and they're shitty and they have no senses of humor. So like this is like what I need to try and figure out because I don't have that sense of humor. You know, Mike tripping and falling, like, yeah, is funny in the moment. But me thinking about writing that into a speech, like Mike was running and then he tripped and he fell. It was so funny. Like it, like granted, he has a little bit more, you know, his stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they have a punchline, and they have a, you know, he's giving it more than that, but like, just in my eyes, it's not quite, it's not me, and maybe that's what this is. Maybe me writing a best man speech is about taking myself out of it and writing something, you know, that's for them. But also, why would he ask me to do that if he didn't want me in it? If he didn't want my take on a best man speech, you know? If he wanted some fucking, you know, dumb, sappy, fucking dildo in my ass type of speech, then he would have asked somebody else. You know? I don't know though. What this is where like all this is I'm struggling. But this is a good speech so far. 12 minutes seems very long though.
Camera angle goes up.
But
Just
everybody's
like
engaged.
you see
There's
in
a
the
lot of
movies when
laughs,
the
so it
person
looks like everybody's
perishes.
engaged. And he's a brother
In that
too.
moment, Captain Mike was rescued by 2 entry-level EMTs. But Mike's resilient, and he's with us today. These near-death experiences have toughened him up. With Mike's passive-aggressive nature, his gentle and cautious reputation precedes him. Hence the nickname. Medium Mike! Okay, so I wouldn't go as far as saying I look up to my younger brother, but I have been looking up at him my entire life. All of you can tell Mike and I are complete opposites. He's more brains, I'm more bonds. He thinks, I do. He's patient, I'm impulsive. He'll argue, I'll swing. At Subway, I'd order a sandwich with everything on it. Mike got turkey and bread. Later in our professions, Mike would be in the lab splitting proteins and editing DNA. I was riding in helicopters, fighting wildland fires. I conducted my life ready, fire, aim. Mike was more like ready, aim, hold. It's all right, Mike, you can go now. Our differences have caused many contentions in our household, which we will spare the details. Sorry, Mom.
This is good. This is a good
But it's
speech.
created laughter, memories, and unforgettable moments I wouldn't trade for the world. Despite being polar opposites, we do have one thing in common. We both married beautiful women who not only look, but remind us of our mother. And you women look beautiful tonight. Mom, Meg, Maddie. So, Mike and I had lots of bonding experiences through the years, but there's one that depicts our relationship and his beautiful mind probably the best. I was finishing... Oh, the time he helped me out with college. Yeah. Okay. I was finishing up my final semester of college online while working for CAL FIRE. I was being deployed to a wildland fire when my first paper was due. So I hired Mike to do it. A month later, when I got home,
Damn,
I
he
received
fucked
a
that-
phone call
fucked
from
that
the
punchline up.
president
That
of the
sucks,
department wanting to meet me and buy me coffee. He told me they were very impressed and wanted to discuss an opportunity to conduct research abroad. At first, I was honored. And then at second thought, I was like, oh crap, what did he do? I would have settled for like a B. But now I had officially written the best paper in Fresno State's history. And the semester just started. Typically, teachers want to see students progress through the year. With Mike setting the bar so high, I trended downward. Like a bad day in the stock market. I never hired him again. All right. I honestly never thought this night would come. Mike marrying his perfect match. Not because I didn't think it was possible, because Mike's unique. Mike likes to garden, which is cool when you're older, but when you're a kid, it's kind of odd. He has a strong connection with elderly people. And sometimes in conversations, he doesn't speak back. He just answers in his mind. So frustrating sometimes. This is coupled with him being extremely handsome,
Teet, teet.
very athletic, strong
What's up,
morals
little
and
guy?
values, and probably one of the most gifted minds on the planet. Oh, seriously. Along with Mike's uniqueness, Mike's
Okay.
luck's not on his side. He misses about 50% of the plane rides that he books.
See, now it's gonna have to get sappy.
Mike's
That's
the
what's
only
gonna be hard.
person I know while riding a bike, he gets hit by a car. And then Mike gets sued. True story. True story. Mike wins several. No. Mike wins several awards, but it seems with every award comes a medical condition. With becoming homecoming king, his several football rings, and military accolades comes the worst strep throat we've ever seen. Yeah, abscesses in private places,
In there.
and wrist-snapping snowboarding accidents. Mike simply can't catch a break. So to find his perfect match, it'd be like hitting the lottery. Who would have ever guessed that this lottery ticket would come in the form of a blonde, small, Midwest girl that was everything he needed to complete him? When I first heard about Meg, Mike called me up excited and said a girl at a bar bought him a drink and left her number on the receipt. I was happy. I knew things were serious when I flew out to Indiana to go to the Kentucky Derby with Mike. And on our way to the Kentucky Derby, we went out of our way to stop off in little old Seymour, Indiana, at Meg's favorite diner. He only knew her a week, and she wasn't even there. Yeah. And the first time I met Meg, we were at my mom's house.
Ooh, I
the
just
whole
got an idea.
family,
I just got an
Maddie,
idea.
My wife included. Mike and Meg seemed like a match made in heaven. She fit right in. She was pretty, she was fun, got along with everyone, and she loved absolutely everything about Mike. Meg wasn't going anywhere. The moment I knew they were going to last was when Meg was able to get Mike to do a public run in a penguin suit. That's true. We all know Mike has the capacity to be soft, but there's Charmin Ultra Soft, and then there's Penguin Suit Soft. And Mike had graduated to Penguin Suit Soft. Meg was here to stay. I had the pleasure of sitting down and talking with Meg about Mike for this big day, and I asked, why Mike? She said for the first time she saw Mike walk into the bar, we all know that story, with his nerdy lab mates, something was different. I thought maybe it was just because he stood out in that crowd, you know? But she said for the first time ever, she contemplated in her head how to talk to somebody. And if you know Meg, she has no problem talking to people. She didn't want to.
Damn, dude, this is a long. This is a little long. I think this is too long.
And that was the difference. She just knew.
I think it should. I
In
think
my
five.
experience,
I think a
when you
tight
know,
5 to 8.
You just know.
12 minutes is too
Meg
long.
proceeded to tell me about how
Look,
she
see,
could
she's
not
getting-
stop
she's getting
talking about
itchy.
him to her
She's getting
friends,
antsy.
That Mike was the most loving, kind, selfless, fun person on the planet. But what solidified
She's getting even the bride doesn't give a
it
fuck
for
anymore.
me was when you were talking.
This guy
the way
doesn't
your eyes
care.
lit up, the excitement and passion that you had was like if you were talking about Mike for the very first time. One of the best choices you made, Mike, was joining the military because you met her. Call it what you want, but it seemed divine in nature to me. Meg, welcome to the family. You are the perfect addition. And Maddie and I are the luckiest people on the planet to have you two as our best friends. Some of our favorite trips have been visiting you two in various states you've lived in. And Meg, apologies for the exotic last name in advance. It's of my understanding it's Russian.
How do you spell it?
Yeah, but I've learned if you say it's Ukrainian, you'll be better off. Mechikoff. I'm closing with this. I'm landing the plane. Mike, from men that have more consecutive years of marriage than you and I have on this planet, they challenge to ask yourself during marriage, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said right now? Does it need to be said by you? No? Then be quiet. And Meg, you keep doing what you're doing because he's lost without you. Hey, thanks everybody for pitting up with me. Okay, let's raise it. Where's my water? Hey, water. Raise a glass and give them, and let's wish them a prosperous and blessed marriage. Thanks, guys. Love you.
You killed it.
Love you.
Okay, I mean that's a little long to me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That felt a little long. Complete best man should honor the groom. It's just like, all right, let's see what this asshole has to say. Then maybe we should just get into the game. Should we just get into the game?
I've been asked to say a few words about my favourite newlyweds.
Oh,
Liam
this
and
guy's
Simone.
Australian though, or New Zealand, so
Firstly,
it might be funny.
I know there's probably multiple
He's a-
people in the
First off, the bloke is a bloody good cunt. The best cunt I've ever met.
crowd that are worried about what I might say tonight. So to put you at ease, just know this speech has not been vetted by anyone. I also read somewhere that you should print off your speech in different size fonts to account for how many beers you've had. And right now I'm reading off size 17, so I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you everyone for showing up to this special occasion, but most importantly, thank you to anyone that had any involvement in
442,
raising these
yeah,
two
see, this could
wonderful
be-
human beings sitting up here today. I believe that's why we all got the invite, so I'm grateful to you all for making two of my best friends. I've known Liam for 17 years now, and to be asked to be his best man and for Simone to allow it is something I'll truly cherish for the rest of my life. It's a wonder how a relationship made it past one of our first interactions, as on our first day together in Year 8 at Rocket Grammar, we were sitting beside each other in our form class, waiting patiently to find out who our Year 12 form seniors were going to be for that year. And as they arrived, I turned to Liam and was like, damn, look at her, she's beautiful, and received quite the stare from Nev in response. Funnily enough, that form senior actually took the time to make it tonight. Big thanks to Liam's sister Monique. After Year 8, the teachers came to their senses and did not allow us in the same classroom for the rest of our schooling. Little rat boys is what Monique would call us. Liam and I, being the progressive new age guys that we were, at the sprightly young age of 15, we promised that we'd be each other's best men. 10 years living in different places, and he never forgot that promise. We made it, buddy. Throughout school, he was the smartest guy I knew, yet still couldn't get my English assignment above a B+. Liam had this sort of charismatic aura around him, the gift of the gab, the silver tongue, most likely passed down from his father Lee. Now let's touch on Liam's footballing career. Thirds Magic captain, grade 11, finished respectfully. Second Stallions, year 12 co-captain, premiership winners. just to name a few of his accolades. For those who never got to witness this man play, you've never seen a 60 kg back rower running off the back fence with more heart, courage and ferocity to often no avail than this here man. Although his kamikaze hit-ups were pleasing to the eye, where he lacked was his defensive skills. Besides a stray swinging arm or a cheeky face rub, he often found people slipping through his fingers. But the one that would not slip through this defensive line was Simone.
I need to be able to make a comparison, you know? I think I need to be able to make some sort of comparison, like, of their love, you know? Like, Tom and Carl's love is like, you know, driving in traffic. It pisses everybody off. Or, you know, something like that. Not that, you know, obviously that's a bad example, but, you guys know what I'm saying? Do people know do people get what I'm saying, man? It's just I have to be able to, like, draw some sort of, I don't know. Let's look at like what I have written down. And it's not much, but this is going to be a whole YouTube video that I'm doing. So these are my ideas for the YouTube video, okay? YouTube Tommy wedding speech video, general ideas. The video will be about writing a best man speech and struggling to come up with ideas, a battle of writing a speech that his wife would approve of, and along the way, my humor keeps interfering. Okay, so this is obviously a story. It's going to be presented in a story manner. So, it's the battle of my inner me, coming to the surface, in my inappropriate mannerisms and vernacular, while also having to write a speech. Okay. So it's kind of like a journey, like one of those journey movies, you know? What do they call those? Like a road trip movie, okay? And I am both, it's both of me. I'm driving, but also my inner self, the funny self, is sort of causing shenanigans all along the way, Like flipping the car, not putting gas in it, accidentally, dropping a box of screws in the parking lot, and I run over one, and we get a flat, 40 minutes down the road, and then, because of me, I lost, the wallet, and now that we have no way of paying for it, so we have to walk a bunch. It's just like that, and that sort of vibe to it. But, okay. And then this will be like, maybe this is in it, though. It's part of me thinks that Tommy asked me to be his best man, that he understood who I am and asked anyway, and it's my duty to him to be myself. But there's also this part of me that just wants to keep it very vanilla and basic so that his wife, doesn't get mad, and then he's going to bug me about it. Because, our humor is just, it doesn't, it's just, some people have one sense of humor, some people have another sense of humor, and then some people, you don't even know if they've ever fucking laughed before in their life, okay? Okay, and this is, the idea behind this video is that there's going to be two speeches, okay? There's going to be the actual wedding speech that's probably going to be very vanilla and dumbed down, because, his family's there, her family's there. I can't do the speech that should be done. The Jacko speech that should be, could be done in Madison Square Garden in front of, 50,000 people. I'm going to have to do one that's catered to, a really Christian family, and then another, I don't know if her family is super Christian, but just, their families. So, like, and I don't even know if I'm going to be the only, as far as I know, I'm one of like 5 non-family members going to this wedding. So it's going to be a lot, mainly family. Okay? Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Okay. So, like, one of the things that one of the lines I was thinking about is, Tom is just a big Bitcoin guy, all right? He's just, as far as I've known, the guy, he's all in on crypto, okay? He's a crypto freak, okay? And he's also a to the moon type of person, okay? Now, I don't know if people understand what that phrase means. That means you hold it until, crypto skyrockets. And you don't sell, you hold or you die, okay? You hold the line. So you don't sell ever. But Tommy did sell for her. He sold some of it to pay for this wedding. And that is, if that's not love in Tommy's eyes, I think that's going to be the point where I go, and that's when I knew that, this guy was, that he was serious about this broad. Can you say broad? Is broad, if you use the term broad in reference to your best friend's now wife, is that appropriate? Is that something that can be done? I don't know. But if it is, I'd love to use it because it's a different word. Whatever. So that's, and then another thing is that Tom has Lyme's disease. And I did hear that he did give it to his fiance right now. I don't know if that's true, but I'd like to incorporate that in the speech. What I have written down is, let's just take this from the top, okay? Let's just say we're walking around, have love and sex and, cars and guns and money, everything that makes the speech great. And I say, Tom and Carly, you guys are now forever bonded. Not only in love, but also in Lyme's disease. I heard he gave it to you. He's been battling it for a long time, and now you have it. So I don't know. Is that a fucking good? I don't know. I don't even know. Nobody out there's telling me. Nobody's telling me no. Nobody's told me that I shouldn't do that. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's something I'll do. Anyway, though. So that's pretty good. This speech is pretty to me. Hilarious best man speech. Now, is this going to be a hilarious best man speech? I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Hey. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frank, Andy's older brother.
See, that right there, I think is the absolute worst way. Okay? For those of you who don't know me, I'm gay. Like, come on, dude. They don't need to know you. Okay? They just want to hear what you have to say. And you shouldn't want them to know you. Okay? You should be a silent assassin. Walk up there, fucking knock their socks off, and get an Uber out of there. That's my MO. That's gonna be my modus operandus. Okay? I'm gonna do the ceremony. I'm gonna look good standing right next to him. Okay? Maybe I'll massage his shoulders while he's waiting to see the bride. Okay? Maybe I'll squeeze his butt cheeks as he's reading his vows. I don't know. But I'm going to look good doing it, okay? Then we're going to wait 40 hours, the Catholic Gap. We're gonna sit down. We're going to have some beef and steak and mashed potatoes probably, unless he got the cheap option at the wedding venue, which he might have because he's very poor right now, just like me. Okay? And then somebody's going to give a speech. The dad's going to give a speech. Maybe the best lady's going to give a speech. Or I'm going to go up there right away, and good luck following me. But who knows, okay? I get horrible stage fright. You guys should have seen me when I used to have to do stand-up comedy. It was a goddamn nightmare, okay? I'm sweating. I'm nervous. I'm mumbling in the mic, and I'm saying too many words. It's fucking scary up there. Okay? And what's even scarier than going up there and having to try to make people laugh is going up there and having to be, like, sincere. I don't even know really what that word means. Sincere. Making somebody laugh is already hard enough, okay? Making two very specific families laugh and also making them want to tear up at the same time, I mean, that is a fucking job and a half. But it's something we're gonna go for. We're just gonna have to try. Now let's see what this, but I will not be saying, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacko, and I've been Tommy Hill's best friend for the last, I don't know, like 20 years. But, the last 3 years, I really haven't seen the guy at all, and he's pretty much, exiting my life, and I don't even know if he's actually considers me his best friend anymore, because he never texts me or reaches out to me or ever wants to play video games with me, and he's replaced me almost entirely. I'm not going to say any of that. Why would I? It brings the mood down.
Just because I'm shorter doesn't mean that I'm younger. I want to start by thanking Mr. and Mrs. Battaglia.
That's a bad line. I don't think that's a good line. I'm just a guy, though, okay? I've never had to do this. It's got to be a fucking nightmare going up there. I'd be pissed. I thank God we're wearing black, because I'm probably going to piss myself.
Yeah, my mom and Tom, my dad for making the stay happen.
This is good, though.
I'd also like to...
Thanking everybody, getting everybody in, getting everybody's spirits up. Gratitude. Let's hear for Mr. and Mrs. Fucking Mr. and Mrs. Fuck for putting on this great evening. I mean, what a hell of a wedding. We got to get the people hyped. Okay. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Shit for providing my best friend with such a lovely youngish, is 30 even young? I don't know, but youngish. Woman for, my sad and lonely friend to marry. Okay. Maybe I talk about, I think, okay, here we go. I got an idea. I got ideas. Okay. Here we go. We're walking around. Thank you, and then after I do all my thank yous, after I do all my applause, maybe I say something along the lines of, man, I think we just take a moment of silence here and just drink this moment in for a second. Because, thank you. I don't, I know a lot of us on the Tommy side, we're starting to get a little worried, It was looking like something like this might never happen. It was looking like Tom might never find love. The guy had a Bumble account. The guy had a Tinder account. The guy had a Hinge account. And it was crickets for months. All right? And I remember one day he called me and he said, dude, I haven't made a profile yet, but I just want you to know that I downloaded Grindr. And I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger and just seeing if maybe love is down a different road. And I was so doubtful, I didn't even try to talk him out of it. I thought, at this point, dude, it's not a bad idea. And then, as the late great Harvey Dent said in one of the greatest superhero films of all time, the night is darkest just before the dawn. Okay? My best friend was about to download a gay sex app and either get anally fucked or do anal fucking with a guy. But instead, this woman appeared before him and lit up the darkness. That's fire. That's fire. Dude, that's fucking fire. I think we keep all of that. I think we keep all of that. How long have we been going in this stream? We got to figure out where we got to timestamp this because I'm going to have to remember this. Where are we at? Where are we at here? 47, 48, okay? Actual speech ideas. Okay. Twitch stream 47, 48 time stamp. Okay? That's what I think we do. All right? Let's go over that one more time, okay? So we're going to we thank everybody. We thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Fuck, for putting on this lovely evening. Okay? The wedding, you couldn't have asked for a more beautiful venue. You couldn't have asked for a more feminine, groom. Maybe we toss in a little bit of a joke there. You couldn't have asked for a more masculine bride, and then I go, shit, sorry, and that, you guys know what I mean. And then we say, and I want to personally, on the behalf of the Hills and on the behalf of everybody on Tom's side, I want to thank, Mr. and Mrs. Shit, the father and mother of the bride for blessing Tom's life with your daughter. Because we were starting to get worried. We were really starting to get worried. I mean, let me tell you guys something. Before these two found each other and pledged their lives to each other, Tom was in a bad place, okay? For about 6 months. The guy was on Hinge, the guy was on Bumble, the guy was on Tinder, the guy was on one of the other ones that I'm blanking on. And when I tell you that there was not a single match, there was not a single match. And I've never heard of that. It got, between you guys and me, it got so bad that one day he reached out to me and he said, look, man, clearly it's not working out on this side of the fence. I haven't made a profile yet, but I did download Grindr. And I was taken aback when he told me that. But at this point, I couldn't even find any reasons why he shouldn't do it. I mean, it wasn't working. He got no matches. And then, as the late great Harvey Dent said in one of the most prolific and beautiful films that have ever been made, The Dark Knight, that the night is darkest just before the dawn. Okay? And boy, was the night getting dark. I mean, my best friend was considering downloading an app for gay anal sex because he couldn't get a match with a woman. And then your daughter emerged, lighting up his life like Israel has lit up Gaza these past 3 years. Okay? Now, maybe that's a very morbid comparison, but I'll obviously come up with a happier comparison like that. Okay? That's fire, though. I think we leave that. I think we leave that in the speech. I really do. I don't see why we wouldn't. I mean, maybe I don't talk about the gay anal sex and the Gaza, the Israel Gaza, horrific, tragedies that are happening there because it's a wedding and it's a happy day. But I definitely think there's something there, And then maybe we go, God, there's so many avenues we could we could go down. But fuck me, dude. This is going to be you see, I couldn't even get through the first part without making it inappropriate. We're cooked, dude. We're cooked. We're fucking cooked. All right? And you guys know how I was saying that the guy has replaced me in every aspect? Well, guess what? I just saw him pop online. And he's playing video games with his fiance. Okay? But so we have a good idea, okay? Started off by I gotta put that in there too. So why don't we do this? Return, okay. Start speech with gratitude for both sides. Okay? Hello. What's up? What? How was it? How many people went up?
There was like 17 people, but I left when there was like 5 people left.
Anybody you recognized?
A few people. Not any of like the old people that we used to. Except for, what was his name? Like Nathan Orton.
Oh,
was there, but he wasn't on the list, so I didn't know if he was going up or not. And then that other guy.
That's good. Oh, that's good. You better start writing.
I know, it gave me ideas. I feel like every time I'm watching it, I just get ideas. Do you have the Afrin down here?
Yeah.
Are you live right now?
Yes.
Who's watching?
Nobody.
Oh. How about maybe getting a lot of watching?
No. Which, I mean, he should have gotten a notification on his phone, and he's alone in Collinsville, but whatever. If he wants to get on, he'll get on.
Well, anyway, it was cool. And tomorrow, let's go to Platypus Not Funny Bone, because I just want to see what that's like.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, love you. See you in the morning.
Love you too. I'll see you in the morning.
You want me to give Bear 2 more bennies?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Bear. Go to bed. Bear, Bear.
Let's go upstairs. Raz, you gotta go upstairs too. All right. Anyway, so we have a pretty good idea of where we're going with this speech. Okay, we start with gratitude. Maybe we throw in, the joke about how Tommy can't get pussy to save his life, in a more respectable way. And then we could talk about how Tommy sold his cryptocurrency for this woman because, honestly though, the fact that he sold his cryptocurrency for that woman is, this guy is so, drunk on cryptocurrency. The fact that he did sell it for her is a testament to how much he loves her. So I don't know. I need to come up with the words that would describe Tommy's love for crypto and his belief in crypto. You know what we could do? I need to find out how much crypto Tom sold for the wedding. And then I could be like, Tom sold, $5,000 in crypto. And that is a testament to how much he loves this woman, because there's nothing he believes in more than crypto. When you guys have children, he will believe in crypto more than he will believe in your children. Obviously that's not true, but maybe, we make a comparison like that, okay? And let me tell you this. If we follow current crypto trends, from the time of his sale of that crypto to now, that crypto would have been worth $235,000. Now, that'll be a lie, okay? That'll be a blatant, outright lie. But what we're doing is we're banking on the fact that nobody knows the crypto market and that is just absolutely 100% false, okay? So we say, if you look at, Tom sold some of his cryptocurrency to pay for this wedding. And, in the 15 years that Tommy has been, God, what's a word? What's the word that you say when you're like encapsulated or whatever? Like a cult, what is it? Brainwashed. Maybe we use something like that, like brainwashed by crypto. I have never, ever, not once, ever heard him even remotely come 100 miles to the realm of thinking about selling that crypto. But he did it for you. He did it to give you your dream wedding. Okay? And sure, if you follow market trends, that small amount of money that he, contributed to the wedding, if the current market trends continue to go up, by the end of the year, it will have cost him around $235,000. That's how much he loves you. That's how much he's willing. They say you can't put a price on love. Looks like I just did. $235,000. I don't know if that's, now that I'm saying, maybe I'll leave that part out, but I don't know, maybe it's not good to talk about finance. Maybe I don't talk about finances at all. These are just ideas, we're putting it all out into the ether. Anyway, let's get right back into this. 5 minutes and 40 seconds. I think we do. I really do think we keep it a tight 5 to 8. Okay? That's what I'm thinking.
Thank everyone who made it here today, except for all my haters out there. You know who you are. I've never been great at giving speeches. I tend to get a little nervous, so I'd also like to send a special thank you to Grammy for the Xanax she gave me earlier.
I like that. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Grammy with the Xanax. Yes. Now, we could go a little bit further, okay? We could have even said, we could say fentanyl, because that really slaps on, But I'd have to, check. You always have to check about those things, because maybe somebody in the family, died of a fentanyl overdose or something. So that's one of those things where maybe you should check. Maybe I text them and say, hey, has anybody in yours or your fiance's family died in any sort of sudden or horrific way?
Way to look out, Grammy. It's starting to kick in. Weddings are amazing. It's when two people come together and proclaim that out of millions of people out there, this is the best man in the world. I want to say thank you.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
You guys are right.
This started off slow. This guy, that's a good, that's not bad. That's one of those. If that's like kind of one of those where it's like, if you don't get it, that's fine too. Who cares? The people who do get it, it's even funnier. That's why that's a good one.
You see, for a long time, I always thought I was better than everyone else. And now it's official. I'm very happy to be here to celebrate this glorious day with Andy and Nicole. I can't believe they've been together for 10 or 11 years or whatever the hell it is. It still amazes me that anyone would choose to tolerate Andy for that long. I think Nikki deserves the Jimmy V Award for perseverance. During those 10 or 11 years, I've been their third wheel thousands of times, and they're my favorite couple in the world. I myself am still single by choice, sometimes my own, but mostly the choice of the women that I've dated.
These are good. This is good. This really heated up. This is a tight. This is a tight set. Tight set. This started off slow.
All
This
right,
guy's
buckle up.
doing good.
All right. Raising Andy, a child with severe attention deficit disorder, as a single brother certainly had his challenges. But I did the best I could. And I think he turned out okay for the most part. It turned out Nikki's love was stronger than the Ritalin ever was. Nicole has made Andy so much less annoying. He still can't manage to show up for anything on time, but it's still an improvement.
Ooh, that's a good one. Dude, this couple, that's what I forgot to. Maybe make a remark on how they're late all the time. Make a remark. You know, I think we're all just happy that, Tom and C always, made it here on time. About them being late all the time. That's a good one. I'm not stealing that. I'm going to come up with my own.
Andy and I used to do everything together. We would hang out with our friends in the neighborhood and play sports, ride bikes, throw things at cars, light fireworks in people's driveways, shout at pedestrians as we pass by in the car, or steal pumpkins from houses and roll them down a hill into oncoming traffic. Normal kid stuff. We were partners in crime, but many times I was the victim. Whether he was stealing my clothes, taking my ID so he could get into bars underage, or taking my car for joyrides when he was 15 and didn't have a driver's license, nothing was ever off limits, and rarely did I ever get my stuff back. So only put $5 in your wedding card, and we'll call it even. As Andy's older brother, it used to be my job to look out for him and bail him out of jams so he wouldn't get into trouble. Now that burden's on Nicole. After one of his birthdays, Andy was too hungover from a night of drinking to move, so he laid in the bathtub and turned the shower on, and Nikki fed him Wendy's cheeseburgers. I'm so happy Andy has Nikki to take care of him now because I don't have to see him naked anymore.
Yeah, see, I don't have any stories. Like I don't.
Smooth transition here. Nicole, you look beautiful tonight. Nikki's loyal, great at what she does, good looking, rockin' bod, smooth dresser, talented lyricist. I know that today I'm supposed to welcome you to our family, Nikki, but the truth is you've been a part of our family for a long time now, and I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of brothers giving speeches, huh? It's all these brothers giving speeches. Maybe I shouldn't have, maybe he should have asked his brother.
Nicole, you're the best sister-in-law a guy could ask for, and Andy, you're the best brother could ask for. And with that, I'd like to propose a toast. So if everyone could raise their glasses to Andy and Nicole, I love you guys. I'm so happy for you. Cheers.
That was the best speech I ever.
That was good, dude. That was a good one. All right, let's do one. Let's do one more, okay? Let's do one more. Okay, funny and short best man. Damn, 3 minutes. Can you could do it. You could do only 3 minutes? This is how a best man speech should be. Okay, it's a bald guy. Okay, which one's got more views? Okay, this one's got more views. Let's just see what. Thank you so much. Oh, shit. Yeah, true that.
Sorry for the kids. Is there any kids? I'm gonna read off my phone, guys. It's 2021. Let's get up to date here. Test. Good. Okay. How's everyone doing? That's what I'm talking about. Everyone got a drink? Everyone who's drinking, have a drink? Okay, good. It's gonna be a good toast.
I love that start. Dude. What a great night it is. Everybody having fun tonight. You feel you everybody got a drink? Everybody who's drinking got a drink? Everybody who's on pills got the pills in their system. Everybody who's doing key bumps in the parking lot. You guys, your guys' nose fully stuffed. You know, something to take the edge off of people. You know, we're gonna ease into this. We're gonna get you guys engaged, okay? I'm gonna ask a question, and you guys are gonna answer it, so I know if you're engaged or not. Because if you're not engaged, I'm gonna keep asking questions, okay? Where the fuck were you on Tuesday, 2021, when Tom got married, or got engaged? I was at home, and then I get this picture of some dry ass pancakes and a shitty white cake. Said, did it. I got engaged. Guy didn't even have the balls to ask her. He wrote a note. Maybe we put that in the speech, that he wrote a letter.
I'd like to thank the Academy for this award. It was such an honor to work.
That's good. That's pretty good. I was thinking about doing something like that too. Am I a hack? Am I just a fucking hack, dude? I wasn't going to do thank you for the Academy Award. It was going to be more on the lines of like, I'm at some sort of anti-Mexican rally or some sort of, something more along the lines of like offensive. Where it's like, what the fuck is this guy believe? Like, is this guy just a total dirtbag? That's what it was going to be. I have some, need to sort of lose the crowd and then try and win them back. I don't know why I want to like sort of fight, try and make a comeback, like start the game down 20 points. But I have this like urge in my body to just get them not on my side at the beginning and then try and win them back. And if I can win them back, I'll feel amazing. And if I can't win them back, it'll still make for a great YouTube video. Honestly, it'll make for an even funnier YouTube video. And at the end of the day, he's never going to look back on this day, on my speech. Nobody's ever going to think back on my speech. So if you really think about it, my speech is pretty inconsequential. It doesn't need to be this masterpiece for the moment. It needs to be a masterpiece that holds up in time, I can look back at that and think, oh, that was really funny when I bombed at Tommy's wedding. Like, there's something that I romanticize about bombing at this wedding. And I think it's wrong. I don't think it's the right move. I don't think I'm going to end up doing it. But man, oh man, would it make for a great video.
With Martin Scorsese. That's the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Busy weekend. Nobel Prize, International Association, Okay, Kyle's wedding.
Not bad,
talk
not
about
bad,
my
not
brother.
great. A little, that felt a little hacky, a little dad jokey. Mine wasn't. My idea was a little bit different.
Kyle is the person I looked up to most as a kid. He's cool and likable, and he's got a great sense of humor.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know where this is going. I'm gonna bet right now. He's gonna say, "Okay, Kyle, that's all the stuff you told me to say. Is there anything else you wanted me to say, or something like that?" I'm telling you, if that's where this goes, I feel like that's been done. I feel like that's incredibly hacky, and it's been done a million times.
I never met anyone that met my brother that didn't like him. Any of his friends that are here will tell you that Kyle is a good friend. He's the kind of person you can always have a good time with.
I could be
As
wrong.
long as he's in control of the music, picks the type of beer we're drinking, the people we're with, the place we're doing, and what we're gonna do when we get there.
I was wrong. That was good. That was good.
That's the truth. That's on God. Our childhood wasn't without tension or fighting. We'd fight, of course, as siblings do. We were
Another
terror
brother,
for our
dude. What the
babysitters.
fuck? I'm fucked.
Sorry,
I'm cooked.
Ellie.
It's so much easier for a brother to write a speech.
My bad. And loose cannons at the grocery store. Sorry, Mom. But I remember, as bad as the fighting got, and as tense and heated as things would become, the fights never came to blows. And I think that's a good thing. It's a good omen. We would always fight like gentlemen, wearing tight spandex and doused in baby oil. As I saw Kyle move through his life, I saw him obtain some great traits. He's a hard worker, and he's a good leader. He's caring, and he's committed to his family, which is much bigger now, so. How y'all doing over there? How y'all doing? Good? Okay. I'm gonna keep this short, I promise. He is a much better cornhole player these days, too, which is good, because now I can stop taking it easy on him every game. That is on God, that's true. He improved himself so much over the years, and since he met Charmaine, she's made him even better. I'm so glad that you came around, Charmaine, because you helped my brother be more kind and considerate. You're always encouraging him to put himself in someone else's shoes and be more sensitive to everyone's feelings. Yeah, sensitive. That's commendable work, and I thank you for it. It's not hard to see why my brother fell in love with Charmaine. She's very smart, sweet, gracious, and pleasant to be around. That she is. That she is. Right there? That's the one. Asking Charmaine to marry you is the best decision you ever made, and I'm truly thankful that she said yes. As proud as I am of Kyle today, I'm equally proud to welcome you to our family, Charmaine. The love and happiness in your heart is easily felt by all those around you. That's never a bad thing to add to your family. I'm proud to call you a Stevens.
That's good. That was pretty good. That's a tight feud.
I did
4 minutes,
press the
35
right
seconds,
button,
getting in and out. That's clean. I just
I'm
spit
so
everywhere.
proud
That's
of you.
clean.
My heart is so full, and it raises my spirits to see you get married today. And speaking of raising, let's all raise our glasses to Kyle and Charmaine. I wish you a married life full of successes, years of blissful love, uncontainable joy, harmony, and good fortune. To Kyle and Charmaine.
That's not bad. That was not bad at all. I enjoyed that. My hero, best man, took 10 minutes. 10 minutes feels like so long. You gotta be, if you're gonna write a 10-minute speech, dude, it's gotta be refined, it's gotta be tight, and it's gotta be, rapid fire, dude. You gotta, keeping a crowd engaged for 10 minutes, that is a hard thing to do. And to think that you're just some schmuck who's gonna get up there and do it is a little bit crazy. Now, I haven't seen this speech. It could be incredible. Maybe he's the guy. I mean, it's titled My Hero. So maybe he is the hero. Maybe he gets up here. Maybe the wedding was a little bit boring. Maybe the reception has fallen flat. And he's about to walk up here, steal the show, and save the wedding.
Hi guys. So I had to leave it on my phone. It would have been better to memorize, but unfortunately there's just literally no chance. I'm beyond happy to see everyone here.
Literally, that should have gotten a little bit of a pop, I think. There's literally no chance. I think that should have gotten a pop. In my eyes, that's funny. That should have gotten a pop. No pop. If I'm writing that didn't get a pop, heart's starting to beat a little bit faster. Did we just set the tone? Did the crowd just set the tone?
Here tonight. Let's get this out of the way real quick.
Bad.
My name is Michael, and I had the honor of being my brother's best man for the special event. This speech, without a doubt, was arguably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. A lot of people don't know this, but I went home. I really did practice. Like I tried to do things right. There are some uncontrollables, and those may be liquor, unfortunately, but there also is just my emotions. And I read this speech right here to my 4-month-old dog, probably 20-ish times, and I would be a liar to tell you I didn't cry 18 out of 20. And in my head, I thought, I think there might be a liquor to speech ratio there, and so I tried to gauge the dog with the beer, and I go, yeah, we're close. Unfortunately, I was followed up by some really amazing speeches, and I know for no doubt that I'm going to bawl my eyes out here. So please just bear with me, because I tried to follow the ratio, but we're not gonna make it.
This guy's got it. So far, this guy's got the it factor.
I will let
Okay.
you know, I was put under some very strict restrictions. Make it through tonight's speech coherently. Well, to be honest with you, you'd think you would have chosen an easier word for the guy that you were worried about being a wild card. Brandon must have forgotten it took me a couple tries at kindergarten. But you live and you learn, and let's see how this thing goes. I am absolutely elated to join this beautiful couple here tonight and celebrate their matrimony with all of you. I don't know if you guys noticed right there, but I used elated and matrimony. 2 pretty big words. Opened up the Webster and went straight to the words. But I'll never forget the first time I met Sarah. And met's kind of a tough word because we did go to high school together, but we didn't really know each other that well, so met was met, You cradle-robbing son of a gun. Well, we officially met when she helped me move back to Montana from college with my brother and mom. That's when I truly got to see the love of my brother's life. We had a big get together my last day there, and it was a blast. It was probably literally too much fun. You could probably gauge that on me sleeping midday, but it's neither here nor there. But being in North Dakota, she did not know anyone other than Brandon, but it did not matter. She treated everyone around her like they were her best friend. She was fun, funny, and I could tell that Brandon meant the world to her. To sum it up, she was just an incredibly enjoyable person to be around and someone who created the atmosphere for everyone around her. This is when I had a feeling that she might be the one for Brandon. In the following days, I moved in with my brother. And not too shortly after, Sarah moved in too. We had talked about, just being the batch life, but must have lost that somewhere along the way. And I also noticed in your guys' how we met letters, we forgot about the third roommate. All jokes aside, I know these were not the easiest days for the three of us, but she was always good to me, even when I was awful. And I could never thank the two of them enough. It's what family truly is about, and I appreciate it immensely. Of course, I did get evicted by the two of them, but that story might be for another time. So here's the part where I'll let the humor settle in a little and get to the heartfelt part. I've got pretty wicked allergies, so if it looks like I'm crying, it's most likely just pollen or cotton, so don't be too concerned. I think in life it's important for everyone to have a hero. Someone that you strive to be like, that motivates you to be the best man or woman you can be, and who drives you to the best version of yourself. For some, it might be the fancy athlete on Sundays dancing in the end zone. I love Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens, so I had mine too. For some, it might be the filthy rich man with a fancy lifestyle, and don't get me wrong, I always thought Dan Bilzerian was the coolest. And for others, it might be their parents. And believe me, we were blessed with two of the best of them. They went through a lot having us too. And we love you guys immensely. But to me, none of those people could hold a light to my hero. Since I can remember, my hero was never infatuated with living a lavish lifestyle. He didn't need it. Never played sports to be in the limelight, and certainly never needed the attention or recognition. No, my hero always looked out for others and didn't need a thing to make him happy. He always cared about others.
You know what? It's a long speech, but he has made it engaging, and he's made 10 minutes feel like 5.
There's more than himself, and someone that could light up a room just by being
That's because
there.
we're only 6 minutes in.
Do
So,
you guys
you know
who
what?
my hero was?
Never mind.
LeBron James, greatest basketball player of all time.
Great bait and switch.
You thought.
Great bait and switch.
So here's where I cry, and he was crying previously, but like he didn't know it was coming, so I can't blame him. All jokes aside, it was literally always this man seated to the left of me. He was larger than life at everything he has ever done, and it was always the most amazing thing in the world to me. I dreamed of being him, or being better than him, at everything he ever did since the day I was born.
If I cry at the best man speech, look, he's not my brother. I don't even fathom myself getting emotional like this because, he's not my brother. He's just, my brother. If I cry at this wedding, I will eat a bowl of shit. The thought of me getting up there tearing up for just a guy I know, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I know it got annoying for him and probably most of his friends. It drove him crazy on multiple occasions. But I always admired the way he gave everything his best. He always gave everything his best. And he was the difference for literally everyone around him. I really can't sum it up any other way than to say there is nobody like him. Yeah, it's bad pollen in here, god dang. You guys leave the doors open all day, or what happened? Like, we weren't doing this. Thought we were on the same page. There's a guy with really bad allergies. Like, not cool. Best man can't be doing this. But I always prayed he'd find the love of his life. And it may sound crazy to you, but I literally can remember it like it was yesterday. From the time I was literally able to know how to pray, I prayed every day that he would find the best person in this world.
What? Okay, that's
allergies, my God! Anybody got a Zyrtec or? God, I made it so long too before those bugs and allergies got my eyes. I'm literally a soldier, but whatever. But literally, I just prayed. I prayed every night because I knew who he was and how he was. And he would find someone that would highlight the things that made him incredible.
You prayed that your brother would find a wife.
And someone that would love him unconditionally.
He must have had
It's
a real
without a
bad
doubt,
dry
he's-
streak. If you're on your knees every night praying that your brother finds a woman, he must have had a dry streak for the ages, dude. I mean, how long did this guy go without getting any puss? Who knows? I'd love to know.
Thing I could ever tell you today, that Sarah is that person. She's amazing inside and out. The difference every day for those around her, an all-around incredible woman. I know without a doubt everything I prayed for came to life today. I wish you both the happiest days. Laughter when it's tough, and an unconditional love for eternity. I'll always be your Huckleberry.
That's a great speech. That was a good speech. That was a fucking good speech, dude. He kept everybody engaged for 10 minutes. That's good, dude. That's fucking good. Funniest best man speech ever. 1.4 million views.
All right, hello everyone.
This is
I'm
probably
Craig.
going to
I'm
be
the
good.
brother. For those of you who
Another
don't know
brother,
me, that is
dude.
your loss.
It's all brothers. It's all brothers.
I would like to thank Becca for your speech and sounding so elegant. And now I'll stutter and stumble my way through this one. You know, Lucas and I were a lot alike in a lot of ways. And growing up, I feel like he learned a lot from me. Mainly what not to do. But either way, he learned a lot. And for instance, you know, in our 20s, I spent my 20s in a drunken haze. He spent his 20s getting a college degree from Winona State University, being the voice of Winona State basketball on the radio, and he was amazing at it. Being a producer on the Lucas and LePay show on 1070 out of Madison. And I'm supposed to cry here, but I'm not going to just yet. You know, Lucas has a full-time job. He thinks I work part-time. He flies private jets to meetings where he sets up deals for his customers that last months or years. I drive my own personal car to places like the Dingaling and Beaners to see how much alcohol they need for the week. I eat when I'm bored. Lucas eats when he's hungry. When you go to Lucas and Jess's house, there's like bowls of candy. They have Skittles and Starburst and M&Ms. I've never bought a bag of candy that's made it to a bowl. But not Lucas. He walks by those bowls of candy and says, "I see you, but I don't need you." You know, Lucas's bachelor party was a few weeks ago, and I was reminded of the quality group of friends that he has. They're just all really good guys. You know, when I hear his friends talk, they're like, "Hey, remember when Sam and I did the Red Hawk Talk?" And that was really awesome. When me and my friends talk, we're like, "Hey, remember when we stole that goat and took it around to house parties?"
I like the comparison ones.
So-
I like when they do these, like he went down this path, I went down that path. That's cool. I don't know if I could get away with that. Us just not being brothers doesn't really make sense. I mean, I guess I could do something where it's like, you know, we shouldn't have, you know, maybe we shouldn't have been friends, you know. I was always getting into trouble. He was always trying to talk me out of getting into trouble. Thank God he's not a lawyer, though, because we always ended up getting in trouble together. Or, so, you know, something like that. I don't know.
Knowing the quality of friends that he has, I knew when he found someone like Jess that she was going to be just as quality. I remember when they were both working at Fagan and he called me up and said, "Hey, I met a girl. We're going to go on a date." I said, "What's she like?" He goes, "She's a 10. So that's a good start, you know? So getting to know Jess, though, she is really just so thoughtful and kind-hearted. The first Christmas we had, they got a gift for me, and I cried like a baby. And she's just really great at everything. I mean, when we have cookouts, she does the desserts because she's good at baking. So she brings over cupcakes for the family, but then she makes mini cupcakes for our daughters because that's how thoughtful she is. She has a horrible attitude about learning how to play euchre, so we got to work on that. But she's really good at watching a Badger game with Lucas. I don't know how many people in the room have watched a Badger game with Lucas. But you feel like you're sitting next to the Tasmanian devil. You know, oh God, interception happens. You're like, where's Lucas? But I think you guys are going to be great together. I'm excited to have you in the family. I'm excited for you to be so close. And you know, I can tell you how proud I am of you, but I feel like that's evident in the gush session that just happened. And I love you, but what I want you to know is I want Kenny and Avery to grow up be just like you.
Those were good. Those were good. Look, we got some great ideas tonight. Is it 10:05? You know, I don't really feel like playing video games. Nobody's fucking watching me either. I'm just spewing all this nonsense out into the ether. But, you know, Wednesday, I think we're going to do a few more of these. We're going to do a segment on Wednesday too, where I break down street fights. So yeah, I want to do sort of a segment like that, but I think we're going to call it there tonight. I got to make sure the YouTube stream worked okay, and then I got to make sure that, you know, everything is fine. So, yeah, we're going to call it there. Thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great night.